You've received your brand new Dr.UGraft Zeus device. Congratulations! Open the box to reveal the contents. First, you'll find a brochure. Next, you'll find the user manual, which provides technical instructions on how to set your device. It also describes the different parts and provides additional information. Next, you'll find the power cord. The power cord is designed to accommodate both 240 and 110 volts from the electrical grid. Next is the Zeus console, which contains the computer motherboard and the main control system. Next is a UGraft Zeus foot pedal control. Next is the handpiece box, which contains the handpiece and a black plastic piece. This black piece is a funnel that you would use to pour lubricant to the back of the handpiece during the autoclave procedure. We will demonstrate this later. Next is a UGraft motor cord. This contains the motor that drives the handpiece. It fits into the back of the UGraft handpiece. What you have now is the basic, complete unit of the UGraft system. There is no other part needed to run the essential functions of the UGraft Zeus. No suction needed, no undeclared parts. This is the complete package. It is a very portable system. Setting up the UGraft system. You begin by finding a convenient location for your UGraft system, and when you do, place the console on top of the cabinet or table. Next, you will need to connect the foot pedal. First, you place the foot pedal on the floor, then you'll have to fit the console end of the cord into the console. To do so, begin by looking for the red dot on the cord. Next, align the red dot with the red dot on the left front port of the console, then push until you hear a snap. Next, you'll connect the motor end to the handpiece. You again begin by looking for the red dot on the cord and line it up with the red dot on the right front port on the console. Push it in until you hear a snap. Next, you will need to connect the power cord. Gently place the box of the power cord somewhere safe. The console end of the power cord has a screw and 3 holes. Align the 3 holes with the 3 metallic prongs on the console port found on the back of the console. Once they're lined up, you push the power cord in and then use the screw to secure it to the console. Then, power up the Zeus system. You are now ready to use your UGraft system. Upon starting the system, the first thing you'll see is your dashboard. The touchscreen dashboard comes into full view. Next, let's explain the different parts of the dashboard. On the far left side, there is a column of presets. There are 6 presets starting from the top. Choose Typical Scalp if you are going to do a scalp extraction from a typical scalp. Once you tap this option, the system will calibrate itself to optimally extract scalp grafts without needing further action. Next is Thin Scalp. This is for a patient that has a very thin, soft, or mushy scalp. Next is the option for Thick Scalp. This is for patients whose scalp is thick and very firm. Many patients of African descent with tight hair curls fall into this category. Other ethnic groups could present these characteristics as well. Next is Typical Body. If you are doing body hair extraction, you just tap this option and all of the settings will adjust and calibrate to optimally extract body hair. Next is Typical Beard. This setting is reserved for beard extraction. This would extract most individuals' beard. Next is Long Hair FUE or Non-Shave FUE. To perform Non-Shave FUE, you just tap this option and the system optimally calibrates to extract hair without shaving the donor. Using 18-gauge intelligent punch would yield mostly long hair shafts, while 19-gauge will retrieve most short hair shafted grafts. Now let's explain the other functions of the dashboard. This is the counter. It will count each score made. That will help the provider or the operator to keep count of the grafts that are scored. To the left of the counter is the timer. It times the entire operation session so you can keep track on the time you spent in your surgery. In the bottom right corner is the speed, measured in revolutions per minute. This tells you how fast your punch rotates. To adjust the speed, first tap the number to reveal the up and down control arrows. Use these arrows to increase or reduce the speed as you wish. Next is the U-force, which is the measure of a driver's torque. The U-force is the proprietary torque setting for the UGraft, and it goes from 1 to 15. To adjust it, just tap the number to reveal the up and down control arrows. You can use it to go up or down as you wish. Near the U-force tab is the reset button. This is useful when you have used custom settings in the course of your work, but now you desire to go back to the original factory preset or the default settings. You do so by tapping the reset command. If, for instance, during surgery you went up on speed and also increased the U-force, and now you want to go back to the original preset setting for long hair, all you need to do is tap the reset command and the device will go back to the original settings. This is your way to go back to the factory default settings. There is also a reset command for the counter, which is on the top right-hand side. Let's say you've done some surgery and the counter has accumulated some number, and now you want to restart the count all the way from 0. All you need to do is tap the counter reset command and the counter goes back to 0, so you can start all over again. Next, we have the column for fluid. If you wish to use the fluid feature, just tap on the drop icon so you can start delivering a number of drops per minute. In this case, it is all set to 1 drop per minute. If you want 2 drops per minute, you tap the second sphere. If you want 3 drops per minute, you tap the third sphere, and so on. Next, we have the custom settings. This section is used to adjust the movement modes of the device. The Dr.UGraft Zeus is a multi-mode movement device that is capable of executing up to 3 movement types at the same time for each score. Each of these movement modes have the ability to be set to any 4 types of movements. The first movement mode is currently on oscillation wide, meaning wide oscillation. If you want to change it, just tap it. Now it has been changed to no movement. You can confirm so by looking at the broken line. Now it's been changed to revolution, meaning continuous rotation on the clockwise direction. Another movement mode is sonic, which is a high frequency and short amplitude movement within the sonic range. Another movement mode is medium range oscillation, which is a medium level arc oscillation that has been calibrated to give great results for intuitive FUE. Next, we are back to wide oscillation. Thus, there are 4 different movement types, and each of these 3 movement modes is capable of doing any of those 4 movement types, or no movement at all if you wish. Next is the movement duration time control. This allows you to set the duration of the movement phase. For instance, here the first movement mode is set to 350 milliseconds. To adjust the duration time, you first tap the number to make the control arrows visible. You can use these arrows to adjust the time to your desire, and you can do so for all 3 movement modes. You can eliminate the second movement mode or change it to a different type, like revolution for instance. You can do so for all the 3 movement modes. Next, on the top right corner is a control that allows you to choose between two types of operation, either manual or automatic. In manual operation, the movement of the punch or handpiece will only happen when you press the foot pedal, and it will always execute one movement cycle per pedal push. If you choose the automatic operation, it will execute and repeat a movement at the interval of your choice, called delay. The moment you select the automatic operation, you will be presented the controls to adjust the delay. In this case, the delay is 2 seconds, which is 2000 milliseconds. If you decide to change the delay, you just tap the number and the control arrows will appear. If you want the delay to be smaller, meaning more frequent repetitions, you tap the down arrow. The delay is set in intervals of 250 milliseconds, which is enough to cover anyone's rhythm. In this case, the delay is 1000 milliseconds per movement. This means if the foot pedal is pressed and the foot is kept on it, the device will execute a movement every 1 second, which is 1000 milliseconds. Note that when you're on the custom settings screen, the device will not function until you save your settings. So save the settings and exit the custom screen to return to the dashboard screen. Now you are ready to use your UGraft. At the end of the procedure, we'll spend some time on breaking down the system. You break down the system by first switching it off, pressing the off button on the back of the console. Next, it is necessary to remove the contaminated part for autoclaving. This is the front end of the handpiece. Autoclave only the front end of the handpiece. Never autoclave the back end of the handpiece, which houses the motor. I repeat, do not autoclave the back end of the handpiece that contains the motor. This will destroy it. Again, autoclave the front end of the handpiece. Do not autoclave the back end of the handpiece. The autoclaving procedure for the handpiece begins with removing the punch from the handpiece, discarding it, and then washing off the surface of the handpiece any blood, fluid, or debris using surgical detergent and rinsing it off. Next, you will lubricate the inside of the handpiece. To do so, you will need the aid of your handpiece funnel, which came in the same box along with the system. The handpiece funnel is a black rubber item which you will use to pour the lubricant as demonstrated. The funnel is fitted to the back end of the handpiece. Then you will need a surgically approved lubricant. Here we are using the DCL90, but there are other brands you could use. These are approved for lubricating dental and surgical drill handpieces before autoclaving. You will pour the lubricant into the back of the handpiece using the funnel. Then you remove the funnel and bag your handpiece and the funnel itself. Now you are ready to autoclave. You can sterilize this using steam autoclave or ionized plasma. Either of those will be acceptable. In this demonstration, the sterilization is performed using steam autoclave. Next, choose the autoclave temperature and the duration. The temperature we recommend for the handpiece is 273 degrees Fahrenheit, and the time we recommend is 15 minutes. Now you're all set and good to go. The UGraft system is that easy to sterilize. Thank you.